Good morning, sir.
Morning, dear. How are you?
So Nilesh, the training time will be changed for the future meetings also, right?
I'm not getting it. I mean, this is a ITL training. This is something that the HR has asked for.
Yes, yes. But the trainings going from, I mean, from tomorrow also it will be start at 10 a.m., right?
10 a.m., 10 a.m., 10 a.m.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Right, shall we start?
Yes, from my side.
I see 21 people joined in. Let's give them 2 more minutes.
Yeah, sure.
So the training plan, I mean, the topics that I'll be covering in next 5 days, I've pasted in the chat box if you can just see. Monday, today would be ITL basics. Tuesday, operations, incident, event, and problem management. Wednesday, change management. Thursday, program management basics, and Friday would be effective communication. Okay. चलो start करते हैं. Enough. Can you hear me, guys? Hello.
Yes, Nidesh.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
okay,
sir, we can hear
okay.
you.
So let's start. Let's start. I see 25 people have joined in. I don't know how many people can actually join in. I don't know. Is there a limit for Google? I don't know. Anyways, so good morning. First of all, thank you for being here. Um, we'll start with ITL basics, ITL practices. Um, for any service management company, ITL is one of the go-to approach for having a successful, a better successful chance, better chances to have a success in the service industry or service domain. Okay, so coming to that point, ITL gives you a direction, a set of directions that actually helps you to um, keep yourself ready or on what to do and what not to do, and not like running between, running like headless chickens everywhere whenever something comes in. So it gives you a chance to come up to a level where you are ready for any kind of incident or problem or event, or you know what to do. Okay, that's what ITL teaches you. Okay, so before ITIL, we have to understand on one thing: how do we react, and how do we respond? If we react to any problem or anything that comes up, we have, following. If you can see my screen, you become unproductive. To be very honest, okay. To be straightforward in one word answer, you become unproductive. You tend to take actions and decisions based on your gut feeling rather than based on set process. Okay, so that's where this react and respond comes into place. When you respond, you actually think thoroughly, or you follow what is already written there. It's written, or it's been advised what to do and what not to do. Okay, based on facts and data and previous experiences, and maybe a set of guidelines that are there. You follow them. That's where the response comes into place. Okay, can you see the two images, guys?
Yes.
Okay. So we've got two images here: unorganized traffic versus organized traffic. Okay. Now, if you see in the unorganized traffic, uh, the cars get stuck because they don't know what to do or where to go. Okay, they don't have a direction. They are directionless. Okay, that's what I call them as headless chickens. When something comes up, everyone starts running everywhere. Okay, what to do now? What to do this? Where to go? What to do? Right. So these are headless chickens. That's what I call them. Okay. Whereas in this, there is a proper direction. There is an approach. Okay. There's an approach, there's a direction, there is a methodology that they have to follow. They aren't disciplined. So nothing, if you see what is the difference between this and this, what are the benefits of this? Organized traffic versus unorganized traffic. Can anyone tell me what is the benefits of an organized traffic? You must have stuck in a lot of traffic jams in your life on a daily life. Not right now, but yeah. Can anyone answer?
In unorganized way, we don't have any. In proper time, we can't finish it off. And in organized way, if proper guidelines have been followed, then the problem may resolve in proper time and finish it off in quite less time.
What else?
The chaos will be less in unorganized traffic. In organized traffic, chaos will be less.
What else?
The other people will know what to follow and what not to follow, because on the right side you'll have by the book, and other side you'll have.
Okay. What else? Related to your incident management queue. First come, first serve. Right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
First come, first serve. Next point is SLA. I think Amrendra said, Amar was saying, right? You are expected in the timeline. You can reach to in a set timeline. Whereas whenever if you are in unorganized traffic, you have got no idea when this car, for example, will reach its destination. We don't know. Okay. Whereas in this, we know specifically that this car, which is there in the back end, at what time it will reach here. It has got a time limit, and SLA can be computed. The best part here is that the element of surprise is reduced in this fashion. There is less element of surprise. Whereas in this, you don't know where the next car will come and hit you. Right? So that's what
Yes, sir.
a difference between organized and unorganized traffic, or importance of process. When we follow the process, we know which customer or which request is going to be served first. Okay. So when you have a ticket in hand, you first follow what is there based on priority. If in case there's an ambulance, these cars will shift to one side and ambulance will be given a priority. But not everywhere you see an ambulance, right? Not every minute there will be an ambulance. So business will flow the way it should be. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, service and service management. What is a service? Service is nothing that you deliver value to your customers. Okay. Now, what is value? It is not mentioned in this slide, but what is value? What do you understand by when you deliver value to your customer?
Prompt
What is
response.
value?
Prompt response, sir.
What else?
Giving
Quality of
Let,
support.
let me ask Vandana. Let me see who are there on the call. Wait. Gautami. Those who are not speaking, can you please be on mute?
Yes, sir.
Gautami, good morning. What
Yes,
do you
sir.
understand by value? What do you understand by value? Value, if you say you are delivering value to your customer.
The
Any
value
service.
means,
Any service.
like if you're taking any request or any what client requested for to do that, you have to give a proper timing and you have to take in serious. You have to resolve that issue within a time.
Okay. Is this what you call value, or is it called service, better service? Or is it what? Where do you understand value? What is the value? You suppose you purchase a TV, you
Okay.
purchase a washing machine, you purchase a fridge.
Yes.
What is the value coming out of it?
Value means how you use, like importance. Importance. Like means
Okay.
how you use this product and
Satisfaction.
how you get benefits.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Go on mute. Parashan.
Hello.
Yeah, Parashan.
Sir.
Yes, sir. How are you, sir?
Good morning, sir. I'm good, sir.
You're good, sir, right? Please
Yes.
tell me what is value. What do you understand by value?
So value means within the provided timing, if we give the correct resolution to the client.
That's called SLA. That's not value. That's not volume. That's not value. What is value? Yeah, sir. You got tea or not? You had tea.
Yes, sir.
You had tea, na? So tell me, what is value? Tell me, what is value?
When some client will ask for any of the requests, then like
What does client? You purchase a TV. What is the value coming out? How do you define a value of a TV?
depending upon quality and about each features.
Okay. What else? So you already have one TV. You bought another TV.
Yes.
Okay. What is the value coming out of it then?
Like best qualities and features only, sir.
So what are you going to do about your previous TV? I mean, there's a purpose, right? The first thing that comes in is purpose. Okay. What is the purpose of a TV that you are buying? Or what is the purpose of a customer taking service from you of a Minty? That's where the value comes into place.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll explain. Okay. So value is nothing but utility, that is a purpose, plus warranty. Okay. It means that there is a purpose of any service that you take. Or a customer, if customer is asking taking any service from Minty, there is a purpose for it. Next comes in the warranty. Okay. Is it dependable? Okay. If you buy a TV today and it goes back tomorrow, you're gone. Your money is lost. Or when you want to use that TV, it's not working. Will that work? Will that give you value anywhere? Rasha?
No, sir, it will not give any value if we don't get any
Gautami?
guarantee.
Gautami?
No, no, sir.
No, right?
Yes, sir.
So, Hemant Sangoju, sir. How are you, sir?
Fine, sir. How are you?
I am doing good, sir. Can you please explain me again utility equal to warranty, value equal to utility plus warranty? What do you understand by this? Can you please explain?
Um, what I understood, like value in the sense, based on the product benefits. If they paid something for the one particular product, whether it is benefitable or not, it based on that the value depends.
Okay. You made it as a product. Now as a service?
Yeah, service in the sense, if the customer is paying to us, the
Uh,
particular customer is paying for us for this monthly, they are paying a bill, whether they'll definitely they'll check whether their pays are it's like worthy or not. They have to check now whether they are getting all the benefits or not. They have to they are checking, they'll check.
exactly. So if a customer leaves Minty, it means they don't see the value coming out of it.
Yes,
Correct?
yes.
Varsity left, ITSM left, recently Zen left. Then prior to that, Tata Projects have cancelled 2 of their projects. Why? Because they don't see value coming out of it. How are you going to deliver value? When you give them proper reports on time. When you give them, it's not just solving the incident, but telling them, educating them. A lot of things comes into place. Effective communication is part of it. Okay.
Okay.
So this is what value is all about. Okay. So ITL defines service as a means of delivering value to customers by facilitating outcomes customers want to achieve without the ownership of specific cost and risk. Okay, this is a service, a means of delivering value. This is the keyword to customers by facilitating outcomes customers want to achieve without ownership of specific cost and risk. What does this statement mean? Read the statement once again.
Sir, to achieve their goals without any conflict and all.
Okay.
It is what ownership then they are giving us to handle, and we are fulfilling their goals.
Okay. So let's come again. Mr. Shiva Ganesh.
Hi, sir.
Hi, sir. Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay. A means of delivering value to customers by facilitating outcomes customers want to achieve without ownership of specific cost and risk. Give me 2 examples.
Uh, actually,
Real
they
life,
want
real life examples. Don't worry.
real life example.
Yeah, IT, non-IT doesn't matter.
Oh, if you take any business, first I want to check the, I mean, specific without any risk and all, specific cost and all. First, we check that.
Give me an example, sir. Any service.
Any service.
Sir, what is this? You're not able to give me an example. Give me an example, sir. Give me an example.
I am not getting correct answers.
Sir, you have not understood what is the service all about. I'll give you the example.
Okay.
Anybody has any answer? Anybody else?
So finishing a task without the involvement of the owner.
So what is the, give me a real life example, right? Means of delivering value to customers by facilitating outcomes customer want to achieve without ownership of specific cost and risk.
Sir, that things in iQPO and all deployment will be going on. I don't know much, but
Give me a real life example. Well, don't give me IT example. Service is service. How do you relate non-technical things with technical things? That's what I'm trying to reach you here.
Sir, we are using this Hangouts, so Hangouts can be as a service.
Okay. What else?
If we using any TV or fridge and all, their proper response, like we can trust on them, and they.
That is the previous question, sir. That was the previous question. What is value equal to utility plus warranty? That is previous question. What is the? Give me a current. By reading this, a service. How do you define a service? Give me an example of a service. There are many services.
Whenever we get some problem in that, without wasting the time, they give us this thing, feedback, and get things done in the time.
Okay. Shall I give you an example here?
Sir, can you take Zomato?
Perfect. What else? Ola, Uber. Do you actually own the car? Do you own the cost and risk of car or driver? Yeah. No.
No.
You book the cab, you get it, right?
Yes, sir.
The outcome is customers want to achieve. Like you want to go from Gachibowli to Begumpet, you book a cab, you go. Simple. The cab will come, you sit in the car, you go and you pay for the service. Correct?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Right. So this is. Do you own the car? No. Do you own do you own the engine oil? Do you own the tire pressure? Do you own the fuel? No. Do you own the driver? No. Right? Do you own the insurance of the car? No. What do you own? You own you are actually owning the time as a service there. That okay, for this much time the car will help me achieve my objective of traveling from Gachibowli to Begumpet. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, another example.
Go ahead. अभी आना example शुरू हो गया है.
SaaS, sir. Software as a service. Gmail example. If we take Gmail, we can use a service which they provide. Already everything will be OS and all related things. Already everything will be established.
Correct.
We can just use the service.
Same goes to AWS. Any of the services of AWS. Right? Do you own the server room? No. Do you maintain the power, electricity, cooling, or physical security or logical security? No. Everything is set up by AWS. You use it as a service. Right? Okay. So ITSM, IT Service Management, is a field of study which actually helps you to define policies and structure processes in such a way that the delivery of service, attains value. Okay, this is the end point. Value is the key factor for any service. Okay, so ITSM actually helps you to define policies, procedures, and supporting documentation, guidelines, framework to how to plan, deliver, operate, control, and improve your service offerings to the customers. Okay, that's what service management is all about. Okay, so what is ITIL? ITIL is a collection of best practices that are accumulated or collected over time and a lot of study to define a framework to define the framework to give value to the customers, in other words. Okay, it gives you support, it gives you guidelines, framework to define your services, to define how to plan for the services, how to design them, how to set them up for the one time, and then how to deliver them going forward, and then improve it. Okay, that's what ITIL is all about. Okay, so it actually enables you to give or improve your efficiency on the services side towards your customer. Okay, so the goal is to improve efficiency and achieve predictable service levels. This is the, what do you mean by predictable here? Predictable. What do you understand by this word? Amar?
Expectation.
Goals, what we are expecting.
Predictable means a customer can expect when you book a cab, when you pick up your Ola, you pick up your phone and you open up the Ola cab or Uber cab application. It gives you options to select the driver, select the location, and then assign a driver to you. It is a predictable, right? It is predictable, and it give you a expected time the driver will come and pick you up. Correct?
Yes, sir.
That is
Choices.
a service that they're providing, right? So you can predict that in next 5 minutes driver should be here,
Yes.
or in 10 minutes the driver will be here, right? So you can plan your activities. You can lock the door, go to the lift, come down to the ground floor and wait for the cab. It will give you 5 minutes time. Correct?
Customer may expect some newspapers, AC kind of thing in cab, like while traveling.
Value addition, right? Exactly. Okay. So element of surprise is the biggest threat in IT. Okay. Element of surprise is the biggest threat. Why? Because you don't know what's going to happen next. You don't go for any service that you're not heard about, right? You always prefer to buy. If you're buying something online, you go to either Amazon or Flipkart or something which is a reputable brand, correct? You don't go for any third party or any stupid marketplaces that have come up. Or when you're installing an application on your phone, you go to Google Play Store. You don't go to any third party application store, correct? So why is that? Because you as a customer, you want a predictable output of the predictable output of the service levels that you are expecting. Whatever application you install from App Store, your Play Store from Google, you are sure that it would be it would be secured, it would be thoroughly scanned, and it would also be nuisance free, right? So that's what the predictable service levels mean. Okay. ITIL framework enables IT to be a business service partner rather than just a backend support. Guidelines, best practices align IT actions and expenses to business needs and change them as business grows or shifts direction. Now, a lot of times, like right now in this COVID time, we know that many of our customers are facing revenue challenges. So what are we doing for them? We are trying to reduce their bills. They're basically the infrastructure support bills, right? Infrastructure bills. So that at least they don't pay, the payment that they make towards AWS infrastructure is optimized, right? Their revenue is stuck somewhere. Their revenue is less nowadays because of now Ola Uber guys are not making any money right now. Correct? How is Ola or Uber gonna make money when the cabs are not running? They cannot, right? That's why this is the time for them to come up with the when the business shift direction, this business shift, the shift of business direction is one of the same reasons. So that's where ITL helps them. Okay. So what are key benefits? Okay, it's industry proven collection of best practices. A lot of things that you see in ITIL, they have been designed long before computers were actually invented. Okay, a lot of practices are there from 1920s, 30s, 40s, management practices that have been there since 1920s, 30s, 40s. They have been collected in one book or collection of 5 books rather. Okay, so it's nothing but a collection of collaborative efforts between people, process, partners, and technology. Okay, value focus on service, quality of service, service improvement. Okay, business orientation and IT services, clear and precise model of instructions, functions, roles, and communication. Can you give me an example of this statement? The last statement, Arun.
Yes, Nilesh.
The clear and precise model of for instructions, functions, roles, and communications. Can you give me an example here?
Yeah. So for any process, we have to set a certain, you know, certain instructions like SOPs, SOWs. That's what. So if any incident occurs, we need to know what things to follow and what tasks we need to do to accomplish the task. And we all also have to set up the roles and responsibilities for each individuals in a team or in a process. And you know, we have to also communicate with the customers as important as that.
I've written something on the notepad. Can you see the screen?
Exactly. Yeah. That sums up.
IWH.
Yes.
I call it this is the model that I presented in my ITL masters when I did my ITL masters. This is the model I presented as a kind of a communication channel, based on communication experiences. Who does what, when, where, how, why, and where. Okay. So if you communicate on these 5 principles, you are done. Your communication would be clear. Okay. So when you're talking to when you're setting up a communication channel between your customers or internal, you have to be clear and precise when you say that who is going to do what, when and how, why and where. Okay, all these things are very critical for any communication. When you have this, your majority of these issues are clear. Okay. How ITIL helps? It has a guiding path and a driving path. Okay. Mission, vision, and values. What is your mission, vision, and values? When you say mission, your long-term goal. Your vision is long-term goal. Mission is nothing but your short-term goal. And what values it deliver. Both have different things. Can you give me an example, real life example of a long-term goal and a short-term goal? Nice.
So
In real life, we can take example LIC policies.
Okay.
To achieve a target within 3 months or 6 months is the short-term goal for as a mission. For vision, what will we do in next 5 years, like a vision?
Okay. So when are you applying for any MLA ticket or any political party by making 5-year plans? Huh?
Might be, yeah.
Okay. So you're going for elections, huh? Okay. So, Jenny, you're there? Jenny,
Yes,
good
yes,
morning.
good
Good
morning.
morning. Good morning. Okay. Can you please explain me short-term goal and a long-term goal with a real-life example?
Short-term goal is nothing but at present means within months or a weeks what we are, and the long-term goal is nothing but what we are in
Give
5
me an
years
example.
or in maybe a 10
Give me
years.
an example, please. Give me an example, please. You're explaining me in short-term and long-term goal. I understand short-term, long-term goal. You tell me an example, real-life example.
Real life. Uh, Now maybe I am entering where I may become a senior position.
Your voice is breaking. Your voice is breaking.
The long term and
Your voice is breaking.
hello, I'm
Yeah,
clear.
I cannot hear you.
Hello.
Yes. Chalo, theek hai. I'll come back to you on this. Uh, Asinath, Sasi, Asinath.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. Can you please explain me what is a with a real life example of long term and short term goal?
Uh,
I cannot hear you guys.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, a short-term goal means nothing but means uh, for example, household expenditures from day to day, short-term goal,
Okay.
and it means long-term means LIC policy or that
ठीक है.
that thing, sir.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt. So I will tell you what it is. Short-term goal is to complete this 5 days training, and long-term goal is to get ITL certified.
No, sir. I never did any certification for 5 years when I was working or practicing ITIL. I never. If you go for similarly to your AWS certification, if you are working towards certification, you will never learn AWS. You will only learn certificate.
My short term goal is becoming Nilesh one day, and becoming the long term goal is becoming an owner for 3 companies like Minfi.
Okay. बहुत अच्छी बात है. You know what my short-term goal and long-term goal is?
Please tell us, sir.
I want to reduce my weight from 120 kgs to 100 kgs. I'm giving some rough values here, don't mind. Okay. But for that, I have to eat less. I have to wake up early. I have to go for exercise. I have to go for jog. Okay. I have to keep myself moving. I don't have to keep myself, stick at one place. Anyway, so these are your goals, objectives, and activities. That's what your comes into place. Okay. Culture, values, and practices and behaviors. These are comes under the culture part, wherein it becomes your daily life. Okay. That's how you define your guiding path and driving path. That's what gives you end result. When guys go on mute, please. Those who are not speaking, can you please be on mute? Okay. So when you have your goals and objectives and activities, you also have your barriers, triggers, and motivators. Okay. So when you have barriers, you need to have triggers, you need to have motivators as well to overcome those barriers. And it's a cyclic process. Every time while you're running this cycle, you are actually improving yourself, right? These have been written somewhere in old books. It is not part of just IT. These are management skills that have been there for ages and ages and ages. How does this come out of become a part of ITIL? That's where the management consulting comes into place. Okay. How ITIL works? It's a life cycle approach where you have 5 processes. There are main 5 processes in ITIL or life cycle stages, I would say. It's called service strategy. It starts with strategy in the center. Okay. Then comes the design, how you design the services, how you transition them, then how you operate them. And in this process, you actually start improving your service, existing services as well. Okay. So I'll go through it one by one in regular 5 days session, where I will be taking over the operations and then the event, incident, problem, change. That's where your daily support life cycle comes into place. Okay. Measure it to manage it, or measure IT to manage IT. Nowadays, Ravi sir is behind our backs to create tickets. Why? Because we want to measure it properly. What is the actual requirement of number of resources that we have? Or what is the actual requirement, or what is the actual load that is coming in from customers? And how much of that load is actually revenue, and how much of the load is cost? Okay. That's what he wanted to understand when he says measure IT and manage IT. Okay. So we've got custom built ITL processes. We have the process in hand. We have got the incident management. We have got problem management. We've got event management, change management. We have got the root cause analysis exercises where we prepare a document of root cause. But what is that? We've got immediate fix, preventive fix, and permanent fix, right? That's what root cause is all about. So these are very high level. Let's come step inside a bit, where you have incident management. You have your daily service reviews. You've got your incident request reviews, incident audit, SLA tracking, OLA management, backlog issue resolution, periodic update. Okay. Prabhu? You're there, sir? Mr. Prabhu is there? He knows everything about ITL, by the way.
No,
So I
sir.
think Prabhu is not in the call, sir.
Okay. I'm just trying to see who can answer me. Mr. Praveen. अरे छुप के बैठे हो तुम तो यार, क्या हो गया प्रवीण भाई?
हाँ सर.
How are you, sir?
I'm good, sir.
You're good, sir. Can you please explain me importance of SLA tracking and internal audit?
So SLA tracking in the sense whenever the ticket is generated, so how, I mean, when we are giving the response, so I mean, how faster we are giving the response that comes under the SLA tracking.
Response, not react, huh? The
Huh,
first
react
slide was
or
respond was to
response?
react, now. No,
React,
both are two different things.
React,
Both are two
react.
different things. No,
React.
you are supposed to respond, not to react.
Hmm.
What are you supposed to do when you are tracking your SLA? You are supposed to react or you are supposed to respond?
Response only, sir.
Why?
So it means, so that means, so customer is aware, okay, they are working on those tickets. I mean, so at least we are passing the somewhat information, basic information.
Huh. Okay. So for that, you have to update your tickets on time. Same goes to all senior members. Okay. Next comes in. Where is configuration management in this? No, I've not added configuration. It should be there. Asset configuration, asset activation, asset deactivation, asset disposal. Mr. Syed sir, can you please explain me these 4 things? Hey, bhai.
हाँ सर सोच रहा हूँ सर. I'm thinking what exactly it could be. Asset configuration is a new thing which will be provisioned. Let's say provisioning of an EC2 instance. Asset activation could be starting and
हाँ ठीक है, start stop. Yeah, ठीक है.
start stop disposal termination.
Okay. When you start an asset, okay, or when you configure an asset, okay, if you see both these two steps, it starts activating cost.
Yeah,
Correct?
Yeah.
Cost आ जाता है इसमें. When you do next step, you reduce the cost, or you stop the factors in the disposal. You eliminate the factors that are actually causing the cost.
Yes.
Correct?
Huh.
But if in case when you don't do an audit here, in the previous slide, there's something called audit.
Mhm.
Have I mentioned audit here?
Incident audit.
Incident audit, there should be one more audit here.
Service request audit.
Service request audit. Where is it?
Right side.
So when you start, when a customer raises a request that I want to start a service, start an EC2, you start it, and he says that stop it after 5 hours or stop it after 8 hours. You forget to stop it. Who's going to pay the bills?
Memphis loss.
Memphis loss. And in terms, customer is not getting the value out of it.
Yeah. Customer is also not getting the value.
Right. I mean, he will say that he has to come into a discussion that I will not pay. Right.
Yes.
And then those discussions take up a different direction altogether. Anyways, okay. So these are sub processes at Minfi that we have to do, that we should follow. Okay. In most of the cases, we are doing it, but effectively delivering these services are kind of questionable as of now. One moment. Okay. I'll just take 5 minutes more. Event management. When you say event management, see, event management is very much linked with availability management. Okay. An event is triggered when a service goes down or the quality of service goes down. Okay, that's where the event comes in. Correct me if I'm wrong here. How do you get events?
Once again, repeat, sir. I didn't understand.
What is an event? Event is nothing but a trigger, an alert that comes in when a service goes down or a service quality is reduced. Correct?
Yes.
Can you explain and repeat me by giving an example? Shashikant.
Sir.
Can you explain me event management, please?
Thinking.
Event and availability are directly correlated. Why? You are setting up a capacity, you are setting up your infrastructure, ensuring that it's available when required, and your event is when the service is not available or service availability is hindered. Okay, that's where the event management comes into place. You set up the right threshold values in threshold values are loaded up in event management tool, right? Guys, this is very important to understand. I know it's not that easy to understand because you have to correlate between setting up a system in place and then operating it. When you are setting up a system, you are setting up in availability and capacity management. Okay. When you are operating it, you are operating it in event management. Sangeeta. Sangeeta. Good morning. Sangeeta there? She was there. I heard it. Kishore.
She is not there.
She was there. She was there. I saw her name a few minutes back. Kishore. Mr. Kishore.
Yes, Nilesh.
Good morning, sir.
Very good morning.
Yes, sir. So, can you please explain me event configuration? What are the factors? What are the activities you are doing while configuring events?
Event configuration, like we can divide two type of event managements, like which can be predicted, like future activities, and which is ongoing, like current activities, as
Okay.
per my understanding. So
Okay, when you are setting up
suppose,
event threshold in Site 24/7, you're
sorry.
setting up threshold values, right? You're setting up threshold values in Site 24/7, correct?
Okay. Yes, right.
How are you setting up the threshold values? On what basis?
Like we'll take basically like a standard process, like a certain threshold generally which we follow.
Why? How do you get those threshold values?
Uh, this
On
is
what basis?
like it is
70,
based on
20%, 80%, right? How do you come up to those threshold values?
yes, it is generic for the all the clients which we follow as of now. 70 and 70 to 80 between that we follow threshold.
Okay. So, how did you come up to those numbers? It could be 20, 30, 40 also, right?
Yes, but while implementing, we have certain rules and terms and conditions, which thresholds we should follow.
So, why did you get those numbers as 70, 80, 90? Why didn't you take it as 50, 60, 70 or 20, 30, 40 or 10,
Yeah,
20, 30?
yeah. As we expecting the threshold, which is reached to above 80, it could be the impact on server or service productivity, because 80 compared to it is above average. 80 to 90, 70 to 80, and 90. And 30 to 40 you can consider on average and below average.
That's where your capacity management comes into place, correct?
Yes, right.
That's where you're planning your capacity, you're planning your business and service capacity management, you're doing your capacity forecast, you're doing your SPO for single point of failure analysis, you're
Yes,
solutioning and loading the threshold values,
absolutely.
right? So
Yes,
you're setting it up for the first time in availability and capacity, and then you're operating it or putting it in operations under event management. That's where your service transition or service design comes into service operation. Okay.
yes, right, Nilesh.
When I open up this thing, you have got your service strategy and service transition, right? This
Okay.
actually goes into service operations, service design, service transition, service operations. Okay, that's where your availability and capacity comes into event management. That's how it is linked with event management. License management, Sangeeta is the best person to answer this question. Trust me. Sangeeta and Prabhu, where are they? They're not here. They are the ones who are tracking the licenses of Site 24/7 and Jira. Okay, that's what we do. We have to activate the license or deactivate the license, tracking how well they are being used, whom they are assigned to. Okay, then your proactive license renewals. We have to keep at least 10% buffer in case one customer comes in and ask for a monitoring to be set up. If you don't have license, you will not be able to provide them services. So I have to keep that in place. I have to manage the vendors. Vendor management is with me right now. I'm doing the vendor management. But this tracking activation, this is all part of Sangeeta and Pooja and Prabhu right now. Knowledge management, SOP, KEDB updates. What is KEDB? Amar?
Knowledge database.
What is KEDB?
Something that we know we do update in these DBs. Something that we know about the project or some updates regarding those projects.
KEDB is known error database. You know that there's an error. You update it so that there are less or low repetitive or duplicate errors, duplicate tickets. It is a known issue. We call it as a known issue, right? What is a known issue? Nothing but KEDB. Process training materials, health files, your Jira documentation, everything comes under this. SOPs, SOMs comes under this knowledge management. Service level management is what your reporting has to be done. You're managing your responses and resolution timelines to the customer. You have your SLAs being negotiated at the business side. Your OLAs are also negotiated with the business side. CSAT and SIP is between service desk and customer. What is SIP? Service Improvement Plan. When there's a CSAT, a negative CSAT, you need to have a service improvement plan with that. This is all part of service level management. Okay? Basic workflows on transition phase. You're setting up your availability capacity configuration, your change management, release and deployment. Okay, this is part of the majorly project side when you're setting up the services for the first time. And then in operations, you maintain them. So you got your incident events, SR, problem management, change management, knowledge management. Okay. This is the part of CSI, the fifth and last part of basic ITL life cycle stages. Okay. Continual service improvement. You do a PDCA, plan, do, check, act, plan, do, check, act, plan, do, check, act, again and again until you improve yourself at the next level and you set the baseline. Guys, if it's going up above your head, please raise and ask questions. I'll be asking these questions in the last day and I'll not be repeating it again. PDCA is nothing but Deming said. Deming was a old management fellow in 1920s. He defined the methodology for continuous improvement. Okay. Say you want to go from Hyderabad to Mumbai. Okay. What should be your first step? You want to go from Hyderabad to Mumbai. What should be your first step?
Diesel.
Huh?
Diesel.
What else? Is that the first step?
Physical condition of a bike. Sorry, car.
Checking the available transport.
Huh?
Planning, sir.
Accommodation
Planning
planning.
what?
Accommodation planning.
What else? It is not the first step.
With whom you want to go?
Any
Availability of transport.
I'm getting very bad thoughts in my mind, but yeah. So you want to travel from Hyderabad to Mumbai. Okay. Your goal is you want to travel from Hyderabad to Mumbai. Just limited to Hyderabad, Mumbai. Just think about these two places. You want to go from Hyderabad to Mumbai. What
Sir,
would be your
which route to be chosen by so that we can reach earlier and at what time is required to reach there, so that we are
No,
going to some place.
no, 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 no.
To gather the information of data, why we are going, how long we will go, how to go.
No.
Why we are going?
We will
No.
choose the flexible timings or the
No,
flexible.
no, no. What is the first step? First thing that you have to know when you want to travel from Hyderabad to Mumbai? Point A
How
to
we
point
can
B,
go?
whatever.
I mean,
No, no.
which
You can
source
take a
we
flight.
use?
You can take a flight. You can take a bus. You can take a train. You can take a, go by road also, by whatever.
Yes,
Okay.
First, you should have
What is
budget.
the what should be the first thing?
Booking a ticket.
The first thing is where to identify where you are right now. Who knows you are already in Mumbai, right? You should know where you are right now. You are somewhere in between Hyderabad and Mumbai already. You already crossed halfway. You are at Nagpur. Then, or you are even way before you are in Chennai. But you have to travel from Hyderabad to Mumbai. So first you have to get yourself to Hyderabad. Only then you can go to Mumbai, right?
yes,
So
sir.
the first step is to identify where you are right now. Only then you can identify, okay, this is where I want to be. Where we are right now, where we want to be. So setting up, what should we measure? What can we measure? Gather data, process data, analyze data, present and use information, corrective action. There's nothing but your plan, do, check, act. You plan your activities, you do them, you check where you are right now. Is there a gap? If there's a gap, you fix it. You bridge those gaps. And then you again do replanning for next improvement cycle. That's where your CSI comes into play. Okay? And then if you already reach Nagpur, you will not go back to Hyderabad, right? You already reach Nagpur here. You want to go to Mumbai here. Here is Mumbai. This is Hyderabad. If you have reached Nagpur, you will not go back, right? You will go only front. That's the factor. Okay. Any questions, guys? Hello?
Sir, can you please repeat that event manager? I didn't understand that. Event management.
Event management is nothing but setting up the right threshold values to generate alerts or events to specifically identify what is going wrong where. When an event is triggered, it can either be a hindrance either a service is going down or the service quality is reduced or there's a probability of services going down. Okay, that's where your proactive event handling comes into place.
Yes, sir.
If a disk drive is full at it's already filled 70%, you get a warning alert or an information. 80% you get you breach the threshold. 80% you get a warning or an orange amber color alert. If it is crossing 90%, you get a red color alert or a critical alert that it might go down. But why these are configured? So that your incident should not occur.
Yes.
Incident should not occur. Why? Because when incident is occurred, means the damage is already done. A customer has already, servers are already gone down. Now only you can do is, what you can do is to give a corrective action. You cannot prevent it anymore. It has already occurred. एक बार वो काम हो गया तो फिर थोड़ी उसको change करोगे. You cannot do anything of it right now. What you could have done it 2 days back when the alert was there for 70%, 80%, somebody should have taken an action. They did not. And on third day, there's a incident on this now. So if you have forwarded this alerts to customers that please check your data on say Friday, on Monday the server would not have gone down. But somebody didn't work on Friday, so the server is gone down on Monday. Simple. That's where the proactive event management comes into place. Any other questions, guys?
So, Ahmad, can I give some example for event management?
Yeah, please.
Please go ahead. Yeah.
Recently, we have fixed schedule maintenance tracker. We have fixed those timings, and those alarms are not triggering. So
Yeah.
that would be a good example. You can understand clearly.
Yeah.
Okay, we have done
Yeah, I
recently,
got that.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
that is event management.
Yeah, got it. Thanks, Sharaf.
Okay.
Okay. Any other question, guys? Chalo, tomorrow morning we'll catch up again with in detail of operations management, meaning incident management, problem management, event management. Okay, in detail we are going to go with them. Okay, incident problem and event. That's what you do in operations majorly. All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay.
Chalo, thanks for joining, guys. Enjoy.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Bye, sir.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.